back to Atreyu News. Liberal professors and students viciously attack conservative speaker at a Vermont college. There's a lot of outrage about this. There should be way more. Violent mob protests that greeted Charles Murray's appearance at Middlebury College on March 2nd grew out of several days of agitation. It is funny how these people have time to protest, even through the week, at all hours of the day, as if they have no job in the first place. Charles Murray, a libertarian conservative author and political scientist, was attacked during his invited appearance at a Vermont college. The attacks came after liberal professors and students had spread hate-filled propaganda about the author for weeks prior to the visit. It is funny. I have to keep going back to Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, because I've read all the rules, and it appears it's the Democratic playbook. But what they don't realize is that the public always sides with the person getting attacked. The public always sides with the underdog. And the clear evidence is how Trump won, is that he was attacked by all the MSM, world leaders, all the left, Barack Obama, everybody who's anybody who has power was attacking this man. But the people saw it. And it's like Saul Alinsky said, the Democrats were too foolish to even follow their own rules. That the people side with the underdog, always. WeeklyStandard.com reports Murray, a scholar of the American Enterprise Institute, had been invited by students members of the AEI Club to speak about his 2012 book, Coming Apart. The AEI Club is a student group that meets weekly to discuss politics, philosophy, and economics, and has brought conservative viewpoints to campuses for debate and discussion. Murray has seen his fair share of protest over the years, particularly in response to his controversial 1994 work The Bell Curve, co-authored with the late Harvard psychologist Richard Herrnstein. But the events that ensued were not routine college campus protests. A week's worth of letters, editorials, frustrated Facebook posts, and meetings culminated in an hour-long violent cacophony that left a professor in neck brace and hundreds of students eager to listen and debate Murray in his scholarship, disillusioned and uninformed. Tension on campus spiked the Monday before the event, when Middlebury Resistance, a group that seeks to restore our sense of hope and justice after the election victory of Donald Trump, held resistance meetings with students and faculty. Attendees were divided on how to respond to Murray's appearance, but a chunk of students settled on the tactic known as simultaneous dialogue, or shouting down the speaker, multiple sources told the Weekly Standard. Some professors in attendance gave tacit and explicit support to the strategy, one source reported, and admitted that they had not read Murray's work. When asked by the students and other faculty members whether they had ever read Charles Murray's work, the organizers bristled at the notion that they should be asked to read a work before condemning it. A source close to the meetings told TWS, "You mean you want me to read The Bell Curve? These people are out of their damn minds." So that they protest something they know nothing about. Look at these idiots. These represents the losers of society, and violent protests against conservative policy and conservatives in particular will only make us stronger. As we've seen, the Democrats have lost 1,000 seats. They lost the Senate, they lost the Congress, they lost the presidency, they lost the Supreme Court, and all the governorship, and these idiots have still not figured out the destruction that they have caused. And probably to their disillusioned retard minds, they're actually winning this battle, which I find hilarious. 2020 should be the biggest landslide in world history if these morons keep it up. On a side note, I went to college twice, and I'm now in a field that has nothing to do with what I studied. Why? Because colleges teach you abstract knowledge that you can't really apply to real life. Some of it yes, some of it no, but for the most part it's a complete waste of money. And famous inventors throughout time and history like Einstein and Tesla understood this, so they succeeded outside of college, because the college creates zombies like these people. It does not teach you how to win. It teaches you how to obey. what the television says. That's what the colleges are set up for. So I would advise anybody wanting to go to college, think about it real hard what you want to do in life and follow that, because there's a good chance you don't need college to do it. Surprise, surprise, looks like Trump was right about surveillance. From the Hill. Former Attorney General Michael Mukasey, maybe I pronounced that wrong, if I did, forgive me, on Sunday said that President Trump is likely correct that there was surveillance on Trump Tower for intelligence purposes, but incorrect in accusing former President Barack Obama for ordering the wiretapping. Well, why is it incorrect? I mean, Obama was campaigning for Hillary. Why is that so hard to believe? I think he's right in that there was surveillance and that it was conducted at the behest of the Attorney General at the Justice Department, Mukasey told ABC this week. Trump on Saturday accused Obama of wiretapping Trump Tower in New York City just before the November election. A spokesman for Obama denied that the former president or the White House ordered any such surveillance. A cardinal rule of the Obama administration was that no White House official ever interfered with any independent investigation led by the Department of Justice, Kevin Lewis said in a statement. As part of that practice, neither President Obama nor, any White House official ever ordered surveillance on any U.S. citizen. That's funny. I'm sure Edward Snowden would have something to say about that. Any suggestion otherwise is simply false. Yeah, well, we all know that's BS. Mukasey, who served as Attorney General under former President George W. Bush, said he believes that there was surveillance on Trump Tower after reading certain news reports. Well, let's take a listen to what this guy has to say. Wiretap would mean that there was some bias to believe someone in Trump Tower may have been acting as an agent of the Russians. No, it had nothing to do with that. If it really was wiretapped at all, it was an attempt to win the election. But it's funny, no matter what they threw at Trump, no matter what they did, it didn't work. It was a catastrophic failure, and now the Democratic Party is going extinct.
If a wiretap did exist, it would have to have been approved by a FISA court based on real evidence. So if there was a wiretap, does it mean there were suspicious things going on between the Trump administration and the Russians?
It means there was some basis to believe that somebody in Trump Tower may have been acting as an agent of the Russians for whatever purpose, not necessarily the election, but for some purpose. And the FBI keeps track of people who act as agents of foreign governments. They keep track of people who act as agents of the Chinese, the Russians, the Israelis, everybody.
Fascinating. We all know it had nothing to do with Russia. They want to undermine the public's opinion with Russian ties to Trump, when in actuality, the Democrats have the ties to Russia, not the Republicans. Former Secret Service agent involved in ObamaGate speaks out, and it's bad news for Obama. Remember those fake alligator tears? Like, think about our enemies. They see the most powerful man in the world crying. Now, like beta males and women might not be able to understand, but for alpha males and real men, they see another man crying. That is a form of weakness, and, we'll take advantage of the situation. If a man is crying, that shows weakness, period. I don't care what people say, it's true, 100%. Former Security Service agent NYPD Dan Bongino has some dirt on the Obama administration, and the countdown begins. ObamaGate is going to blow wide open this week. I'll be sharing more about the Obama administration this week. It's time. Well, it's fascinating. And what an exciting time to be alive.